before that happened. That wasn't why she went to do that, but it became the reason. So, so there's some kind of, it's like there's a bunch of different violin strings that are inside yourself, and they're just sitting there. Until you rub the right kind of bow on them, the music doesn't play. And then when you put the bow on them and you've got the right kind of tuning, then the music sounds really good, and you want to keep doing that. And I think there's something that happens inside your head like that. I think what we need to have with kids is help them understand that you don't need to know what your ultimate destiny is going to be. Trust that
So
it will
just that
become
freedom.
clear to you, and
So
wander and try things and mess up and don't worry too much about it. And then one day the vision will come to you, the idea will come to you.
Society doesn't let you mess up though. Like usually through your
Says
sophomore
who?
year of college, you need to know what you're doing. They kind of
Says
force
who?
it. What do you mean says who?
Well, I speak from a lifetime of messing up. Do you speak from a lifetime of messing up?
Yeah, I've had, you know.
And you
But
don't
still-
look like you have all your limbs. You're not speaking to
Yes,
me through a
but-
jail
But
intercom.
money wise and income wise, if you don't go through college and get good degrees, unless you're really innovative in your ways, there's not a whole lot.
Well,
of
why don't you
people.
just be innovative in your ways? It's up
It's
to
not
you.
because where is money in trafficking?
What do you mean? Where's money in
How would
trafficking?
I even make money as that as an occupation?
What? Fighting trafficking?
Yeah,
Is first of all, is how much money do you need to make?
enough to get by.
Enough to get by? You don't think you can get by running a foundation called the Defenders Network, where you are using effective methods that you have invented yourself. That you've
So what
pioneered
if you want to get more than just get by?
Okay, well, so how much money do you need for that?
What if you want to get the pumped up American dream?
Okay, well, how much money do you need for that?
Ooh, it's like 6-7 figures.
6-7 figures.
Six,
Okay,
7
well,
figures.
all right. So I'll make about 300,000 this year. So is that 6 figures? That's 6 figures, right? My book advance was 400,000. Okay.
So you'll be making 7 figures.
Well,
6 figures.
that was last year. My book advance already got that, so that's all spent. So the
Wow,
this
so
year
you-
300,000 this year. Right? So is that enough?
Yeah, that's pretty good.
It's not enough because I'm in debt.
Wait,
If I wasn't
no.
in debt, I wouldn't need that much money. I could live like I live now. I live right now on a house that's on a cliff overlooking East Sound. It's off a 200-foot cliff, and I want to buy this house. I can't afford to buy this house right now, but I'm trying to get to the point where I can afford to buy this house. But I have all the computers I need. If I want a computer, I can buy a computer. I can snap my fingers. If I want an iPad, I can buy one tomorrow. So I have money like that. I have money like if I felt like I wanted to spend $1,000, I just spend $1,000.
So you live comfortably.
I live reasonably comfortably. Yes, that was not true a year ago because business was bad a year ago. But this year, business was very, very good. Next year, it looks like business will be very, very good too. But the thing is that I would be much more comfortable if I wasn't paying whatever it is, $3,000, $4,000 a month, just to service my debt. So I need to pay down debt. I don't know, it's a couple $100,000, several $100,000
For
of
what?
debt. Oh, for various things. It was mostly when I had my business downturn. I had to charge travel on credit cards and stuff like that. A few years ago, my wife had a major illness, and that was $75,000. Just to pay for
Dang.
because we don't have medical insurance because our country doesn't believe in medical insurance. So
Unless you have what?
unless
You
you have
usually a 4-year degree with the occupation that gives you.
no,
That's
really,
why a lot of
that's
people go through
just a
that
rumor you've heard. That's really not true. It is not
Well,
true.
most companies do insurance.
Yeah, sure. But, I mean, I worked at regular companies, too, and I don't have a 4-year degree. When I was hired at Apple Computer, I was hired into a job, and the requirement for that job was a 4-year degree. I didn't have a 4-year degree. I was hired anyway. Why?
How did you get hired and other people don't?
Right. How did I get hired and other people don't? That's the question. I'll tell you the answer.
Yeah,
Because he was following his passion and he wasn't busy.
I tell you the
with
answer.
and all that.
I
Wasn't bored.
I didn't realize that my success was inevitable when I was 20 years old. I didn't realize that. So I wasn't down looking for a job in Silicon Valley. I was in Chico, California, 200 miles north of Silicon Valley, and there was no local work there for programmers. I had tried out for a job. I quit my job as a video game programmer because I was sick of it. I just couldn't do it. So I tried out for a job as a computer operator, and I wasn't hired, and I was overqualified for that job. Like, oh man, a computer operator. It's just crazy that they didn't hire me for that. But I didn't really like the person who was hiring me, and I think I came off as too opinionated, and because I am, I'm very opinionated, and I'll take over. I'll come in and take over. Will you hire me now? No, some people don't like that. Okay, so then a friend of mine said, why don't you send your resume down to one of these contracting agencies in Silicon Valley, because you can get like a $35 an hour job as a programmer down there. So I said, all right, I'll try that. And I did, and I didn't think much about it. And about a month later, they called up and said, hey, there's a position as a test administrator running a test team at Apple Computer. Maybe you'll be interested. And I said, what's a test administrator? Like, well, you run a test team, a team of testers. I didn't even know you could get, I didn't even know people got paid to test software. It's the first time I'd heard of that. So I thought, that sounds cool. Yeah, it might be a nice change of pace from programming. So I went down there, and I was super enthusiastic. And I had good experience with the technologies that we were testing, because I was a machine language programmer of Apple II computers. So I had a portfolio. The three things that you need are, you need a portfolio of your work. You need to be able to show work that you've done. You need a reputation in the field. You need people to tell stories about you that are good stories. That's what reputation is. And the third thing is that you need to be able to perform well on tests that you are given. Live performance of what you can do. Someone says, oh, you're good at that? Yes, I am. Well, show me right now. And you need to be able to do it. Okay? So, I didn't have a reputation. I had a portfolio, though. I could show my video games that I created. And I had the ability to perform well on tests, because they asked me these technical questions, and I was able to answer them because I really did know what I was doing, actually. And so, on top of that, I was extremely enthusiastic. And the guy who hired me had another guy who was more experienced than me that he could hire. Or he could hire me. Which will he go? Well, there's two things about me. I was much more enthusiastic than that other guy was. I really wanted the job, and the other guy didn't want it that much. And I was much less expensive. So I got hired at $20 an hour, but I got overtime, so that was nice. Later I got a raise to $22 an hour. Then I got hired after 9 months I got hired full-time at $40,000 a year. And then started getting raises from there. And then my next job was based on that job. After I worked at Apple, you see that having the Apple name next to you really helps you get your next job. Yeah, so that definitely helps. So then I went to a place called Borland. I got $60,000 a year. And then I went to I got $90,000 a year up at my next job at ST Labs, based on my 4 years at Apple, 7 years at Borland. And then my next job, I negotiated a $30,000 sign-on bonus. But by that time, I had a big reputation. Lots of people knew who I was, because I went out and I started speaking at conferences. So I get more expensive because I have more reputation. But before you have any reputation, when you want to get people to take a chance on you, you have to convince them that you can solve the problem that they have, and that you're less expensive than their mainstream alternative. So I didn't have a degree, but I had other things.